so hard as actors because we are feeling sensitive, empathic, creative creatures. And now we got to be business owners and look at data and sometimes leave our feelings behind. But that's exactly what you got to do when you're in this space, when you're in feeling these things. You got to leave the feelings behind. So you really got to sort of take a 10,000 foot view on your own career, take a step back, and ask yourself, are you really doing all the things? Are you really doing all the things? Because you know when we're in it and we're trying stuff, we're like, but I'm doing everything. And we get caught up in that panic. So we got to like dial it back, release the emotion and go, okay, but what is working here? What am I doing right? What is working in my career, right? Again, take that 10,000 foot view. Hi there, Jody Bentley here, actor and CEO of Actor Insider and the Actor's Office. And today I want to talk about what do you do when you just feel exhausted and you feel defeated because you feel like you've tried everything in your acting career and nothing is working. Now, this question actually came from an actor who's in my Facebook group, the Actors Workspace. It came from an actor in that community. And she said that she felt like she was on the hamster wheel of defeat and asked, how do you break out of that? And I really wanted to come on and answer this question because I am sure she is not alone in that. If you resonate with that, please comment below and let me know. And let's dive on in. So look, there's going to be a point in your career where you are feeling exhausted and like you're trying everything and nothing is moving the needle. So what do you do? Here's 3 steps that you can do to break out of that because it is not a good place to be in. It doesn't feel good. All right, so let's talk about this. So the first thing I want to point out in the question that she posed was that she was exhausted and feeling defeated, feeling like she's trying all the things, feeling like nothing is working. And I want to look at this word feeling because the first thing I want you to do is forget about the feeling. We got to forget about the feeling. Go back to the data, not your feelings. And it's so hard as actors because we are feeling sensitive, empathic, creative creatures. And now we got to be business owners and look at data and sometimes leave our feelings behind. But that's exactly what you got to do when you're in this space, when you're in feeling these things. You got to leave the feelings behind. So you really got to sort of take a 10,000 foot view on your own career, take a step back and ask yourself, are you really doing all the things? Are you really doing all the things? Because you know when we're in it and we're trying stuff, we're like, but I'm doing everything. And we get caught up in that panic. So we got to like dial it back, release the emotion and go, okay, but what is working here? What am I doing right? What is working in my career, right? Again, take that 10,000 foot view. What are the holes? What is missing? Okay, I'm getting really good. I'm getting auditions. I'm getting the self-tapes. I'm getting a callback, but I'm not booking. Or I'm doing really good work on the self-tapes, but I'm not getting the callbacks. Or I keep trying to get an agent and nothing is clicking. I'm not getting it, right? Really start to examine and look at the holes. Be a sleuth. Be curious. Really assess all the pieces of your business, right? I'm not even getting auditions, or I'm getting auditions, but I'm not getting the ones that I want, because all of those things are keys to solving the problem. If an actor came to me with those scenarios that I just mentioned, I would have a totally different strategy of what to do. So you really get to start looking at what are the holes, what is missing, because when we make that blanket statement of, but I'm doing everything, we're just in victim mode. And so again, we got to take a step back and look at that. So for example, I was having, in my own career, I was experiencing this, right? Where I was getting great auditions, getting great feedback from my team on the auditions, getting callbacks now and then, and I wasn't booking. And I was like, okay, something's going on. And look, I assess my stuff all the time. And I feel like, no, my headshots are good. This is good. My self-tape setup is good. All this stuff is good. I'm like, but something wasn't gelling and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I had to do exactly what I'm telling you to do in this video and take a 10,000 foot view and go, okay, I had to watch my tapes and look at them, my self-tapes, and go, okay, is there something that's missing? And I was like, you know what? You know what's missing right now? Spontaneity, playfulness, and absolute joy. That's what's missing. So I got my butt back into an acting class. And since getting back in that acting class, I booked 2 projects. So it wasn't that I had to refine my setup or my branding or my marketing or switch agents because things weren't working, right? It wasn't any of that. All those things were working. What wasn't working was I wasn't allowing myself absolute freedom in the audition process. But I had to take a step back to examine that to then be able to move forward. And like I said, then I booked 2 projects, right? So I think it's really important to do that assess, to leave those feelings and look at the data. Second thing I want you to do, if you really feel like you're on this hamster wheel of defeat, you gotta change something. You must change something. I mean, the question she asked for this, which I'm sure a lot of you ask, is like, how do you break out of that? How do you break out of that hamster wheel? You just gotta break it. You just gotta break it. That is up to you to get off of it. You get to choose to get off of it. You get to break the pattern to move forward because your current pattern is not working, right? So not only do we want to assess stuff to be able to make change, you just got to get off that hamster wheel. And that's hard because you do feel defeated, right? So you don't want to make any change because you're in that space of like, well, nothing's going to work anyway. But you got to change something. You got to change one thing and it's got to be big, right? Again, I was feeling like, God, I'm not meeting the people that I want to be meeting right now, right? I felt like my community, my network had plateaued. So I had to change something. And I was like, okay, I got to change something. I got to do something big. So I got into this class about how to use LinkedIn. I had stopped using LinkedIn. I used it for many, many years. And then trends and strategies change, right? So I got in a class to do that. And now I have meetings with producers that I've lined up. I've connected with so many more people. I have feelers out for line producers for a film that I'm producing. Like all of this stuff is now happening on LinkedIn. And I'm getting traction on LinkedIn because I made one decision. I changed one thing in my pattern, was I'm going to learn something new. I'm going to learn a new strategy. Now look, class isn't always the answer. I'm not telling you to get in a class, right? Sometimes we tend to stay in class land because we think that's always the answer. So only you can know and decide, right, if that's the right thing for you. But maybe, the thing you change is I got to get out of the house and walk midday to get my creative juices flowing. Maybe I just need to walk 10,000 steps a day. Maybe I got to work on a scene for an hour every day to get my creativity back, right? Maybe, you know what? I just need to step out of my comfort zone and I need to reach out and invite someone out to coffee every week. I need to have a coffee with a new person every week. Or maybe I just, I need to go to an open mic. I just got to go to a stand-up and do something risky. Whatever it is, figure out one thing, one big thing you can do that's going to change your entire pattern. Because this is not the time for small action when you feel stuck. It's a time for some big action. So what's a big action you can take just to break the pattern you are in, because then the domino effect will really start to happen. And then the third thing, and I know the first thing I said to stop feeling your feelings and look at data, but the third thing is just to really feel your freaking feelings. But I mean, like really feel it, and just be done with it. Be done with it. So cry, get angry, write about it, vent about it, call your friend, journal. I don't care. Do something, get it all out, get the feelings out, then move on. You've got to stop staying in that place. Okay. I was, I recently released something about how my manager had dropped me. And then 3 weeks later, I signed with a new manager. Hooray. And I was really quick in doing that process. Why? Because the very first step I did was feel my freaking feelings fully so I could move on. So I had a good cry. I had a nap. I wrote some stuff down. I worked through that feeling and then I took a deep breath and went, okay, now what? And I created a game plan, and 3 weeks later, I up-leveled to a huge management company. So you gotta feel your feelings fully to be able to move to the other side, or else we're gonna stay in that space, and that's the hamster wheel, right? So obviously we need to move past that. But look, the worst thing you can do in this space is do nothing. And that's the most comfortable thing to do, and I get it. But you didn't become an actor to feel stuck in uncertainty and stuck on a hamster wheel when the industry doesn't live up to your expectations. That is not why you became an actor. So you need to change that. But the good news is that you can change it. So look, if you've been feeling defeated, if you've been feeling like you're on this hamster wheel, I really invite you to change that. And starting August 5th, I'm hosting a free 5-day training, 5 days. It's like over 8 hours of content of how to reignite your acting journey and how to make your acting career a hell yes again. So I really invite you to join me on that. It's going to be really epic. I'm going to be sharing a lot of tools and tips and strategies for you to move through this feeling of defeatedness, of feeling like you've tried everything. And I'm going to really show you other possibilities and opportunities that are there that you just might not have seen yet. So click the link in this post to register. Because look, nothing will change if you change nothing, right? And that's the biggest thing. If you're feeling defeated, you gotta change something. And it starts with one step. And I know that this training can be that one step for you. All right, I will see you in the 5-day training. If you have any questions or comments about this video, post here. I will answer them. I am here for you. And I will see you next time. Okay, bye.